Hey guys, it's Christy. I am here with the third installment in this little impromptu Mama Elephant mini series. Wasn't anything that I planned, but I had just stamped out 3 different images using the Mama Elephant in My Heart stamp set and said I would make a series of videos with those. And I've also been working out of this Dear Lizzie Neapolitan paper pad by American Crafts the entire time. I'm trying to be better about not switching out a ton of supplies and trying to actually work through a paper pad. So I challenged myself to create all 3 cards using that same paper pad. And this was our first little one, this little girl with her pigtails and her arms stretched open wide. And then this one was our second one, featuring the little boy. And we made him kind of like a reddish blonde haired little boy. And today we're going to be working with this little girl. So I'm going to go ahead and set these things aside and we can get started with our coloring. So I'm going to start out by coloring her skin, and I'm beginning with a little bit of FS2 just like we did with the other cards. And again, I will have my sun coming from the left hand side. Sorry, my shadows will be on the right, so the sun would be on the left. So I'm just laying in a really quick coat of that FS2, and then I'm going to take my FS3 and I'm going to go ahead and darken her up on the one side. I'm going to darken her up quite a bit just for a tiny difference in skin color there. So we'll add that, and then we'll go ahead and blend that back out with the FS2. Just making a nice soft blend there, getting her little neck. Alright, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the PP2 and we'll give her some pink cheeks. And I'll take my FS2 again and just kind of go over that a little bit so it's not so starkly pink and kind of just fades into the rest of her skin color. I'm going to be pulling my colors from this sheet of pattern paper. I really like to choose a pattern paper to begin with after I've chosen my image, just so I have a reference point. I'm also going to be using a piece of Dove Gray cardstock from W+9. It's a really soft neutral gray color, so I thought I'd go ahead and make her a dark-haired little girl to kind of just tie in those gray tones. So I'm going to give her an all-over wash of BG7 for her hair. And it is a darker tone, like I said. So we'll just lay that in. The nice thing too about doing some darker hair is that this card could go to someone of several different ethnicities. I've mentioned before that I'm making these cards for Operation Right Home, and some of the soldiers, you know, could be of different ethnic descent, and this kind of gives them, you know, more variety to choose from when they're choosing cards to send home to their kids. So I'm going to take the BG9 and I'm going to darken up her bangs, especially by just flicking in some color there. Also going to darken up back here behind her neck, back side of her head, and maybe just a little bit right there at the top. Alright, and I don't even think I'm going to blend that out. They're pretty close. So I think I'll leave it at that with some darker contrast. Do a CR6. Give her kind of like a dark pinky coral dress. Just laying in that color, getting my paper saturated. Okay. And I'll take the CR7. We'll see if that's dark enough for my shadows here. Kind of darken up where her arms are there, under her neck. Okay. Kind of under her arms there. And then I'm just kind of going to round the corners there just to give it a little bit more of a rounded shape. You can go ahead and blend that in. All right. Oh, and you know what? I see that her hair extends down there. I didn't notice that before. So I'm just going to take the BG9 because it's such a small spot and there's no need to even shade back there. So I'll just take that darkest color and fill that in. Oh, she looks even cuter with that long hair. So cute. All right, so I'll take a CR9 and I'm going to color in that little heart. Okay. OR1 for our flowers to try to bring out some of that orange color. And put a dot of OR2 in the center. Just kind of feather that out a little bit. CT3 for the little heart flowers. And a little CT4 will just dot a tiny bit because there's so little, there's not even barely room to shade, but I like a lot of contrast. So okay, for our greens, I'm going to take an LG3. Okay, and I see I didn't do her shoes yet. I'm still kind of deciding what to do with those. So I'm kind of laying down some color here, and I'm kind of pressing hard at the bottom to get a consistent color, and then lifting up as I flick towards the top to get those little grassy areas. I think I'll take a little LG3 for some contrast. I'm sorry, I have LG5. I used LG3 the last time. I'm going to go back and do her shoes in that BG7. Just give her some little black shoes. And just a touch of BG9. I've been kind of noticing lately and reading on some blogs and stuff that it's better if you want a consistent look to use fewer colors in your designs, because then it just seems more harmonious. I've always been somebody who used like as many colors as I possibly could, but that kind of struck a chord with me, so I've been kind of paying attention to that more lately and kind of limiting my color palette just to keep it really cohesive. So I'm going to take my BT1, and once again, like I did in my other videos, I'm going to lay in some sky. I'm going to keep it dark towards around the images and towards the bottom, and I'm going to kind of lift off as I get towards the top, because I want to create kind of like the illusion of sky at the bottom and then kind of cloud shapes towards the top. They're not really defined, but just kind of leaving the edges kind of fuzzy will help that create kind of like a cloudish shape. And I'll add a few little spots of some color in here and there to kind of break it up. And you can see I did that also with this little boy card, how the color is concentrated more towards this area, and then towards here it gets really pale. So that's what I'm doing. I kind of liked how that turned out. So just continuing to deepen that. You can see that paper is really saturated there. So alright, I'm gonna call it at that. So we'll zoom back out and finish making our card. So I've got my card base like we said, and I'm going to go ahead and put some ATG down. Just trying to make sure that's nice and straight before I press that into place, as it's very hard to peel it back up with the ATG if you've got it wrong. Put a little bit down on this piece. And I'm going to line that one up with the bottom. There we go. Now I thought we'd bring in some of the lemon lawn trimmings to kind of bring out the yellow that's in that card. So I've got some of that unwound, and I'm just going to take that right along the seam of those two pattern papers, and I'll wrap that around twice. And now I can go ahead and tie this in a little bow. We'll just adjust those ends. And then we can trim off any excess. And now we've got our little image here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and round her corners just like we did with the others with the 1/4 inch setting. Okay. And now I'm just going to take my foam tape and I'll cut myself off some. And then we'll just take our card front and get that lined up. And then we can just press that into place. And that's our finished card for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the whole series. If you guys wanted me to, just let me know. Leave me a comment in the bottom. There are still 2 more children in this set. There's the little boy in his PJs clasping his hands, and there's this little girl sitting Indian style that I have used on a watercolor card before video. But anyway, if you guys wanted me to go ahead and do the other 2 images in this set during this little series, just let me know. But for today, that's our card. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.